Hey there, I'm here with Kevin Hale, who is running for U.S. House of Representatives District 5, which I believe is northeast Dallas.
Yeah, it's mostly East Dallas County, and then it has Kaufman County, Henderson County, Wood County, Upshur County, and Van Zandt County. So
Right.
it's spread out over East Texas and a small slice of Dallas County.
And Kevin's running as a libertarian. So what just made you decide to run for office?
I really didn't want to be a politician, but after 2016, I got involved in the party because I figured somebody's got to do something, and I'm somebody. So I got involved with the party in 2016, helping Gary Johnson. 2017, I officially joined the party. By 2018, I was named the marketing chair here in Dallas County. During the 2018 cycle, I worked to promote the Mark Tippett's campaign. We got to 13,000 homes during that cycle. And after that cycle of me learning what campaigns are about and what worked and what kind of didn't work, I decided I would run for Congress because I wanted to stop the wars. We're involved in way too many wars. We're hurting people that never attacked us. We just spent $6 trillion, 19 years, countless lives in Afghanistan to replace the Taliban with the Taliban. So let's stop intervening in other people's business, maybe. Let's try that. Thomas Jefferson did it, so we should do it too.
So with the anti-war platform, is that what made you decide to run for national office versus a state office?
Correct. Our foreign policy is the problem. I think that we're actually creating terrorists by interfering in other countries' business. We're giving them a reason to hate us. Let's not do that. Let's give them a reason to love us by trading with them economically. Long term, that's a better way to go about achieving peace. I think the problem we have now is that we don't even practice peace anymore. How are we ever to achieve peace if we never actually practice it? One of the things I've been harping on is holding both parties accountable. Republicans promised to cut spending, but when they had the power in 2017, they go ahead and pass the largest spending bill in US history. Democrats promised us criminal justice reforms, but none of those bills left the House. So they can't even come back to the voters and say we need more Democratic senators because those bills got defeated by the filibuster. They never got to the Senate, so they were never defeated by the filibusters. I'm tired of getting platitudes from both of the old parties. It seems like the only people that win in this are the corporations that back their campaigns, and I'm just tired of it.
So how did you land as a libertarian in this approach?
Typically, I voted Republican. I did vote for Ross Perot way back in the day, but mostly it was Republican until 2012. I abstained in 2012. By the time 2016 rolled around and the major parties had picked their candidates, I couldn't find myself voting for either Trump or Hillary. So I started doing research. I did research on the Green Party. I did research on the Constitution Party. And when I found the Libertarian Party and I read the platform, I was like, where have these people been my whole life? I could have been voting for them, because it felt like a home. It felt like a home after I read the platform. I was like, these people get it.
So you mentioned the Federal Sunset Act. I'm curious, in combination with that and other elements of your platform, what's your vision for a brighter future for the people of East Dallas?
The first thing we can do is end the war on drugs. I think we really need to get our cops focused on crimes that have victims. Portugal decriminalized everything in 1999 when they had the highest overdose rate in the world and the highest HIV transmission rates in the world. They decided to treat the addict versus just, tagging them with a felony and throwing them in jail like we do. What has happened since then is now they have the lowest overdose rate in the world and the lowest HIV transmissions in the world. What they've done, though, is if you get caught with a 10-day supply, you're asked to go in front of a judge, a doctor, and a psychologist. I would love it if we did this, because the judge, if he finds that you've been acting nefariously, can assign a criminal punishment. But what's really happening is the doctor is able to find out what drug you're addicted to and prescribe a legal narcotic to get you off of it and to, curb the withdrawal. But most importantly, the psychologist gets to talk to the person about why they're using. So that approach to me seems like a far more compassionate one than what we've been doing for the last 50 years. So I would advocate that on the criminal justice side. I want our cops, I don't want to defund cops, that's stupid, but I want our cops focused on crimes with victims: theft, fraud, assault, rapes, and murders. If they would focus on those 5 crimes, I think we'd be a lot happier with our police force.
And what in your experience and background makes you the best candidate to deliver on this future?
I have been in sales since 7th grade. I won my first sales contest in 7th grade, for real, look. I was getting sponsorships for Jump Rope for Heart. I knew in 7th grade that I would be a salesman and I would always be in a position to have a job. What's happening in our country now is one of the things that sales guru Zig Ziglar told us is there's no salesman in Cuba because they're not a capitalist country. So I'm trying to save jobs here, because if government decides who the winners and losers are, you don't need salesmen.
And our final question for you. What would you tell a voter that feels reluctant to vote for a third party?
I tell them this: it's the most powerful vote you'll ever make. It's easy to vote Republican and Democrat and think that they're going to come through this time on their promises. But voting Libertarian sends a different message, and especially to a congressional house, because if you elect a Libertarian to Congress, I immediately become the minority leader in the House, because I'm not coming there as an independent. I'm coming there with the party behind me. So we are the 3rd largest party in the country. We hold 350 elected offices currently, and we've been the fastest growing party since 2008. So electing a Libertarian right now would make me the House minority leader and make it possible for me to keep my promise to be the loudest voice you have in Congress.
I love it. Thank you, Kevin. And want to give you a chance to say any final thoughts before we sign off.
Number one, thank you for interviewing me. Thank you for your work on the backside of this. I know there's a lot of people out there that are tired of the two old parties. One of the biggest things that we're fighting right now is apathy. Non-voters. There's enough non-voters in my district to win this thing outright. I only need 140,000 votes. So if I can convince people that don't normally vote to show up and vote, I win this. Convincing a Republican or Democrat to vote for me is a hard sell. It's a real hard sell because they've been ingrained. That's who they are. That my party, you watch people. I literally watched this happen this morning. I watched a gentleman go through the cognitive dissonance of voting Democratic. I was like, sir, but they didn't come through. They didn't come through on the criminal justice reforms that they promised. And he goes, well, they had other things to do. I was like, don't do that. Hold them accountable. But I won't win that vote. I had to move on. My best chance to win is with younger people that are not tied to the parties, that are not, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat kind of person. I need somebody that says, I'm an independent and I want something different.